相信好多觀眾朋友喺移民嚟到美國嘅時候，都會帶住一個夢想。今日我哋訪問嘅大廚 Mourad Iroriya 由摩洛哥嚟到美國嘅時候，亦都帶住咗自己摘星嘅夢想。而果然真係俾佢由烹調家鄉菜之中摘到粒米芝蓮嘅星星，更加令我哋一班普羅大眾可以嘗試到正宗嘅摩洛哥口味。Oh, it's so beautiful! Oh my God, look at that! Please sit down.
Thank you.
Wow, thanks for having us here.
Pleasure to have you here.
Okay, so this looks so good. Can you tell us a little bit about this?
So this is hand-rolled couscous with brown butter and rutabaga, honey, sunflower seeds, and blossoms.
Can I?
Of course, dig in.
Let's do it. Okay, so everything's edible, right?
As far as I know.
The flowers and all, right?
No, everything is edible.
Okay. So is this traditional Moroccan food or?
Well, couscous is very traditional, but the preparation is not. So basically, couscous, when it's made in Morocco, we take a whole couscous steamer and we fill it with couscous, and we make a stew with different kinds of meats and vegetables at the bottom of the steamer, and then they get mixed at the end. But for this preparation, we actually cook everything separately to try to keep the integrity of each vegetable.
Wow, and this is wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay, so I read a lot about you. I know that you came here to US when you're 20 years old. Thinking about studying economics, actually did studying economics in a university.
Yeah.
So, being a chef, that wasn't your original plan, right?
No, not at all.
How did that happen? And you're a self-taught chef too, right?
Yeah. So it was really, I stumbled on something that was really a passion of mine, and I never realized that I would love cooking. But when I came from Morocco, the intention was for me to go to college and get a degree and go back home and basically, be back with my family. And that was probably the only way I was allowed to leave Morocco, is with the idea, with the notion. No, I didn't. I really didn't. With the notion of going back at one point and living there. But when I came here, I was extremely homesick. I mean, it's so far away from Morocco. I mean, especially San Francisco. We're not even talking about New York or Boston.
Yeah.
And I became really homesick, and I started cooking for myself. I thought that was a great way of reconnecting with my culture and my family, and stay connected in a way. But I never cooked before. I never worked in a restaurant before.
So growing up, you never cooked with your family or anything?
No, I was watching them because cooking was a huge part of everyday life. We wake up in the morning, we talk about food. We argue about what we're going to have for lunch, and then we have lunch.
That's very Chinese.
Exactly. and it's just I didn't realize the importance of food until I came to the States.
Yeah.
When I was back home, I used to feel like food was just something that we do to get you through the day. It was just like fuel. But it was actually the glue that kept us together.
Exactly.
Everybody has to show up for lunch. Everybody has to show up for dinner. Everybody wakes up and they have to face each other and sit around this. Sit around the same table. So it literally was the glue. It was the thing that kept us together and made us. It was like therapy.
Wow.
But when I came here, I realized all of that, and I realized that food had a more forceful, presence in my family and my culture than I thought before. So I started cooking, but at the end of the day, it was all from memory. So for me, that was a blessing, and it was a curse. It was a blessing because I had to come up with things on my own way.
Yeah, you can get to be creative.
Exactly. So that made me more creative. That made me think about food rather than just following the recipe. And I never had the courage to call them up and say,
I miss you.
Can you give me the recipe for this dish? I'm homesick. I'm crying this afternoon. I want to make this stew or that stew.
I'm sorry, I didn't know how good I had it.
Yeah. So I would recreate everything from memory, and never told them that I was cooking at home at all. I always told them that I was going to college. But immediately after I finished my degree, I got a master's degree in economics. My brother and my professors brought up this idea of opening a restaurant.
Okay.
And I was like, okay.
Your brother was also in United States at the time.
Yeah, he was here. He was here before me. So the idea was for
They
me.
tasted your food,
Yes,
right?
exactly. So after I got a little bit better.
Because they're in economics, they know when something makes money, you know.
I
They're
really
like,
don't know.
this guy makes money.
So they helped me open a restaurant, and then the idea was for me to go back to school and get my PhD and go back home. Truly, that was
the idea was, right?
That was the plan. But when we opened, we were so blessed to be busy since day one, and the media came in, and the feedback was tremendous. And I was all like, at the beginning, I was always like, well, this is going to end soon. This is going to end soon. It's not going to last. But it just kept on going and going and going, and eventually took off, and here I am.
Yeah, I know.
It's 19 years later.
Second
Yeah.
Michelin star restaurant, and it's wonderful.
Show me, show me, show me how to fly. Fly me, fly me, fly me like the first time. Show me, show me, show me how to fly. Fly me for the first time. Yeah, yeah. Fly like the first time. Oh, yeah, yeah. Fly like the first time. Yeah, yeah.
中国南方航空，飞翔从此大不同。
I should tell you that, and I quote, okay, critics are calling you, I quote, a pioneer Moroccan-American chef, that you have a striking modern reinvention on traditional Moroccan food. How does that make you feel?
It's humbling because, I mean, the task is huge. It's kind of hard. I mean, it's daunting to take something that is really old and accepted and embraced and loved and try to, you know, mess with it. And that's what I try to do without losing the integrity of the food.
Right.
But the biggest compliment that I could get is when somebody from Morocco would come here and they will eat something like couscous, and it doesn't look like the way we make it in Morocco. It doesn't necessarily taste like the way we make it in Morocco. But when they eat it, it gives them a sense of place. It makes them feel like, you know, this reminds me of Morocco. If I were to close my eyes and eat this food, I know exactly what I'm eating, but it's different. So to me, that's the balance that I have to strike all the time, is to keep the integrity of the food and the culture and the cuisine, and stretch it just far enough to become more interesting and to evolve slowly without snapping it and without losing its core. And that's what I try to instill in my chefs and my cooks, because they didn't grow up eating this food, and sometimes they might take it too far with some spice, or they don't know how to use a certain combination of spices. But my job is to make sure that I restrain that, and I just bring them back and try to strike that balance. But it's so interesting to me to cook with people from all over the United States and sometimes even from all over the world. When they come into my kitchen and they start working with us, they bring in their own 2 cents, their own perspective on food.
Now, I read somewhere that these tattoos, they all mean something. They have a stories behind them. Can you tell us a little bit? Share a couple stories
I
with
don't
us.
think I can reveal all the stories.
Ooh, okay.
Yes, but it started with my grandpa died. He was such a huge force in my life, and he raised me, and he was a big influence on
How
me.
old were you?
So when I came here, I was 17, and he died in 1999. And when he died, I was so hurt by the fact that he was not going to be here, that I put a tattoo on my back, and that was just a way for me to always feel like he's watching my back, because he was always there for me. And it's a symbol that basically symbolizes him. But every time something really huge happens in my life, I always try to remember it. Whether it's an event, whether it's a moment, whether it's something great, or whatever it is, the things that make me who I am right now, I do tend to put them on my body so I can remember that.
Okay, so now, what do you think you would have done if you hadn't gone into becoming a chef? like a great chef that you have?
I really think about this every now and then, and I feel like cooking has been like something that I stumbled on. I had no intention or desire to cook, but it brings me so much joy.
And you're so good at it. So.
And people seem to like it.
Yeah, you're bringing me a lot of joy right now.
Which is pretty awesome, and that keeps me going, and that gives me like a creative outlet to do what I want to do. As long as I'm being creative, as long as I'm doing things that evolve over time, I'm really happy.
Okay, so now, is Moroccan food your favorite food?
To me, there's absolutely no distinction between, cuisines other than, taste and flavor.
Exactly.
If it tastes good, if it makes sense, if it's made from the heart, and you can taste food when it has soul.
Okay, I also want to know, and my final questions, when your patrons leave, what do you want them to feel like? How do you want them to feel like after eating here as they walk out of the door?
If people leave here with a small memory, then I feel really, really good. If they feel with some sort of emotion, hopefully it's good, it's a good emotion, then that's great. Even if it's not a very favorable emotion, at least they felt something. And to me, that's all I want to do.
All right, thank you so much again. You
Thank
don't
you very
drink
much.
wine, so
All right,
let's do this.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Right.
因為想家而令到 Mourad 改變初衷，成為咗今時今日呢一位擁有多間著名餐館，而又能夠忠於自己信念同埋創意嘅廚師。講真啦，我好羨慕啊，亦都好開心，有好似佢咁樣嘅例子，俾我哋華人嘅家長睇到，喺美國真係公字都可以打出頭㗎，只要有信心嘅話。有料，肯努力，你就一定有機會㗎啦！下個星期再同大家見面啦，拜拜。
每天几分钟的时间，体验放松的新世界。体感新境界，欢迎体验健康新世界。Inada 稻田按摩椅欢迎您。
炉端烧，英文名叫 Robata， 是众多日本料理中的一种，历史悠久，起源于日本东北的宫城县仙台市，最早是海边渔夫的日常饮食，因条件局限，只需一把盐、一捧火来烤制原本新鲜的海鲜。演变至今，除了师傅精湛的厨艺，凭着对食材和火候精准的掌控，让一刀一串、一烧一烤都成为满室飘香的美味。今天就让我们去 Santa Clara 的 Iroriya Robata 来认识一位来自日本的炉端烧大师，来见识颇具仪式感的 Robata Grill。
This is
Wow! Looks so fresh.
Thank you so much.
Konnichiwa, Chef Satoshi.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you. And can you please describe the dish for us?
Okay, I want to make a seasonal one, and then like simple dishes. Just taste salt, and then original vegetable taste, and the shrimp, and then just a little bit of sauce. It includes sugar snap peas, and the bamboo shoots, pepper beans, and a kind of black tiger. We call it kuruma ebi in Japan.
All the stuffs came from Japan.
Just shrimp from Japan, and then other vegetable is from
local.
Here.
Okay. So why did you pick this dish?
Because it's seasonal stuff. Most of Japanese dishes is simple, and then much for the seasonal one. So I want to make this one, and then we also serve the similar like this dishes on the seasonal menu on the spring.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we're serving this
Okay.
one.
So it's actually not in your
current menu. Okay, so can I try first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. I think maybe it's so crunchy and then head has a more flavor.
Yeah, can tell the plum sauce.
Yeah.
A little bit sour. Yeah. And what's this?
It's a cucumber.
Oh,
Blooming.
oh wow! It's the
all-
first time I saw.
Are you
it.
sure?
Yeah.
Can you feel the cucumber?
Yeah. I know Iroriya serve the robata grill. Can you describe more about like what's the robata grill?
Robata means by the fireplace. The origin is someone make a kind of restaurant on just a little later, World War II. He served fish and vegetable on a charcoal grill. And then he called that style is robata.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
Yeah, it's not a paddle in actually.
Oh, what's this?
In actually, smaller one.
Oh, smaller one.
We use to mix the rice
Oh, okay.
and then scoop the rice to the dishes. Some customer brought it for that antique shops.
Oh.
And then the owner realized it's good for the serving the dishes across the charcoal grill to the customer. That's why he used this one.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow, that's nice. So you started your cooking career at the age of 16, right? So early. So why did you choose cooking as your career?
At the first, I didn't think I'm professional. I just work. But changed. I have many friends. There is a chef too, but they has a positive attitude. I saw them. I need to do it too.
So they encourage you.
Yeah. So that's why they give me inspired to work for the professionally.
But it's so early because you started your cooking career at 16. So when you were young, so do you like cooking or?
When I was young, I don't know.
You didn't realize that cooking is like very important for you.
Yeah. I didn't realize that.
So I knew you have moved to different cities in Japan. And you also have been to Australia.
Yes.
And I checked all the cities.
Oh, yeah.
They were near the sea or near the beach. So why? Why do you choose these cities?
Because I like to spend the time on the beach. I met the surf on around 20 years old.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So play the surfing.
Yeah. I wanna put the surf on a lot of places.
So why did you move to Bay Area?
Because there was a tsunami, tidal wave in Japan,
Yeah.
and then radiation was spreading in all over the Japan. When there was, my son was born. So I need to think about, can I make he growing up in Japan, or we need to move other country. And I talked with my wife, each other. I searching the job on out of the Japan, and I found this job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you are the master chef here. So I think your boss gave you this title. So that means you will take more responsibility of management. So do you like deal with people, or do you like deal with food better? So which one do you like?
Food better.
Food better. Why?
Yeah. Actually, I just like to cook. I gotta be patient to cook. I don't like management, but I need to do.
Yeah, you are the
I know.
master chef. You
Yeah.
have to like take take charge of like management.
I know, but so I'm trying.
So you have been to a different place, right? And I think if you wouldn't be a chef, what do you think you'd be doing?
I have no idea, but when I am kids, I really like Indiana Jones. You know, Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I know that.
So I would be the Indiana Jones when I was kids. So, but I realized if I need to be the Indiana Jones, I need to study, everything, you know.
Know everything. So how do you like Bay Area?
I like Bay Area. It's not a bigger city, right?
It's like
I born
urban
in
style.
I born in the countryside, so that's why I like also countries. Especially, it's San Jose. It's a little small town, so I like
Similar
it.
to your hometown, right?
Nara.
Oh, Nara. Wow.
Nara. You know
okay.
Nara?
Yeah, I know Nara.
Yeah. It's a so historical town. It's close to the beach here.
So you
And
can play the
yeah,
surfing.
surfing.
So how often do you play surfing?
Just
Once
once
a
a
month?
week. Once a week.
Okay.
I want to go to more, but I
But
need
now
to.
you need to take more responsibility.
Yeah, take a responsibility. That's why. Yeah.
Okay. May I ask, what's your next destination? Is this
Of course, more southern.
more southern? Okay.
Yeah, because weather is good on the Bay Area, but water's temperature is so cold.
Yeah.
So I don't like a cold water. So that's why I want to move more southern.
Thank you, Chef
Yeah.
Satoshi.
Thank you so
It's
much.
very nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Thank you.
冲浪与烹饪看似很不搭界，Chef Satoshi 却将这两个爱好经营得有声有色，带着热情与浪漫，他走遍风光无限的世界，偶遇风趣的朋友，寻找最新鲜的食材，创造出色香味俱佳的新式料理。这何尝不是我们都羡慕的生活呢？